Latino Radio. April Marie here. AJ trying to keep me out of trouble. It is incredibly difficult. Some days harder than others. Let's see. I started the show and I laugh because I texted I texted Valerie making a joke. Look, I know the last show had a comedian, had Andrew cutting up and carrying on. And I'm over here talking, get involved in the community and tough topics. But we're going to keep on our path. I may actually circle back to some of the comedian jokes here in a little bit, though. Daryl on the line calling about the homeless situation. Hey, Daryl.
Hey, how you doing, April Marie?
I'm doing well today. How are
Did I
you?
get it right?
You did.
I'm doing fine. Happy New Year to you. First, I want to tell AJ you got to give him some fish to go with them greens, man, so you can swim in the green, bro. Well, you got to have fish and greens with the black eyed peas. Yeah, that's right. And I know him and Leland always talking about you want your cornbread, so I know you're gonna have some of that, AJ. So,
Of course, ain't nobody gonna take my cornbread.
I don't even know why I didn't even think about the cornbread. I need to actually get some cornbread. That would probably make the kids happier having greens and with cornbread with their greens and their black eyed peas.
Or you just eat 12 grapes.
Okay. Well, April, what I want to say is this here. Richard the cop was talking about that man. Well, I am that man who called the news because it's ridiculous. Yes, I'm that man. I'm Daryl Timmons. I'm that man you seen on the TV. You hear me? I'm that man staying in College Hill. The mayor stay up the street. I got two mayors stay up here, Bell and Wolfen. Well, Wolfen just moved. They've been staying here, and he's not right. Listen, Birmingham got a $500 million budget, $596 million, and they throwing people out. Going to California to find somebody. All these agencies around here.
Oh, yeah, the California vendor's ridiculous.
Yeah, Urban Ackerman. They the one that dropped them off. And if I didn't have cameras, April, they'd say I'm lying. And so I had to prove to the world I wasn't lying. And this woman back there doing some stuff I can't tell you on this radio.
I watched your interview. You about summed it up when you said your wife was not happy with what that lady was doing on that front porch.
No, she's not happy at all. Exactly. And so she was talking about getting a room. No, I'm not getting no room, baby. Let's go get a room and run away from it. No, this is where we stay. They dropped off, and y'all gonna move it. I called the police. They wouldn't do nothing. I called the mayor's office. They wouldn't do nothing. I called Sonia Smith, the council person. She wouldn't do nothing. And so that's when I made up my mind to call all the news in Birmingham because it's ridiculous.
So glad you did.
They take them from I got a lot of people calling me. You're going to take them from Lynn Park and dump them off on us. Don't do that. That's a no-no.
Now,
if I didn't have camera.
Did they ever figure out how she found out that house was empty, how she picked that neighborhood to be dropped off on?
I don't know. She might have known somebody from a long time ago, but the house been empty for years.
Oh, wow.
They told me they're going to push them things down about 10 years ago. And you got people, that draws trouble, like rats. I guess because it's empty, it's open season. But what she had her tents out there and using the bathroom paper everywhere, opening cans, loud, passing out, doing drugs, and got other people coming at night. That dog ain't hunting. And matter of fact, it's not barking with me. And so that's what I did, what I had to do. And the mayor ain't did nothing. He ain't showed his face yet. And matter of fact, they still got some of her stuff. They gave me a case number, telling she come back again. She's still out. She's been back over there. You hear me? And so they're not doing nothing. That's why I told them to take it to another neighborhood and see what they put up with it.
Oh, and you know they won't.
Neighborhood nice. They won't do it. That's why I tell them, take it to Green Acres, take it to 5 Points South, take it to Lakeview, and see what they deal with it. But don't bring it to me. And the mayor stayed up here. He ain't been gone a year. And so we're trying to get this nice neighborhood. And you're going to drop it off on me? No. You got $596 million. I don't have that kind of money. You can build an amphitheater. You can build stadiums. Get them people somewhere to go. You can't throwing away $2 million. Just throw away the same $2 million last year and give them to them again to drop them behind my house or empty places. No, it's not right, April. That's not right.
It's not, and
that's not.
The police. Is she back again? I know the police said
she's
took
back
her at
again.
least once.
She's back. No. They just talking. No. She's back again. Got on camera. seen her pushing a bucket of some of that stuff away in a Piggly Wiggly bucket or something. But she'll be back when nightfall again, coming back again. And the police, they gave me some case number. I don't even call. My girl on, I got my pressure. I had to go to the hospital behind, getting upset with this woman. You hear me? Take my peace away.
That is not okay.
No, it's not okay. That was the UAB Highland told me. I spent Monday and Tuesday up there, and they told me, your pressure up, man. You got to cool down. And they said they saw me on the news, but they could feel where I'm coming from. You coming to destroy my home, and you dropping people off, paying them $2 million to drop them off in a neighborhood. What? And some people don't have cameras. What other neighborhood they done took them to? I got cameras all around. There's some people ain't talking up.
That is insanity. I'm glad you took the time to call us. I'm glad you took the time to call the media the first time around. I'm going to have AJ get your number. I want to pass this on to someone I know at the city if she is back there, because homeowners don't deserve this. You deserve to live in a peaceful neighborhood, and this woman had no business being dropped off there in the first place and doesn't have any business to be there now. So I don't know if I can help, but I'll darn sure try.
I appreciate it. I'll hold and give AJ my number.
Okay.
Thanks.
I put him on hold a bit while he was still talking. No, it's absolute craziness. I saw that story, and it was, if you missed it, the Urban Alchemy, the California outfit that has been contracted with the city, dropped a woman, and it's clear she's got one or both. She's definitely substance abuse and/or mental illness, or both issues, and she was just wreaking havoc on that neighborhood. And these are the situations where, people who deal with severe and persistent mental illness, untreated, and or substance abuse, or a combination of both, we have taken away the actual safety network and gotten away with. There was a big movement. We can't have asylums, and asylums are inhumane. Well, guess what? Now we have homeless people terrorizing neighborhoods, living in parks, doing other things instead of getting the help and the treatment they need. And it's not right. It's absolutely not right. All right, let's see. I'm looking at over here. I do want to do a little bit lighter topics today. So I'm going to tell you some of the. We're gonna switch gears here for a second. I'm gonna in between some of the heavier topics, and I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the big stories, locally, state, and national throughout the show, just like I have the last 2 days. But I also want to talk about some lighter-hearted stuff. Saw a article in Southern Living on what we need, the Masters tournament rule. And for those who haven't ever watched, I am telling you now, and as you're setting New Year's resolutions or picking out good habits to do, one of them needs to be not to have your cell phone in front of you at every experience. I went to the Pentatonix concert this year. 2 years ago, I went with Richard Dixon. This year, I took my son, my 9-year-old. It was his first ever concert, and took him. It was one of his Christmas gifts. We had a ball. It was an incredible concert. To my left was a man who didn't pick up his phone once. To my right were 2 women and a toddler who did not put their phone down. They recorded the entire concert on their phone. And I was like, now I took a couple pictures of my son. I took a couple pictures where I could get a picture of the band. But by and large, I try to be better about that, being present where you are. I have seen just beautiful events that have been marred by people holding up their phones. You can't even see their faces. It drives me. It's one of my biggest pet peeves for weddings and black tie and that kind of thing. When you see screens out everywhere, weddings particularly, it is one of my, like, be in the moment, be in the bride and groom's moment. They are paying a photographer. Half the time these days, they're paying a videographer. You don't need to be taping a wedding or a wedding reception with your phone. It is an incredibly crazy pet peeve of mine, but an absolute pet peeve of mine. But it's true for most things. My kids' school, when there's performances, the school will set up a camera in the back and we'll later get a link. But that doesn't stop parents from watching the entire performance with a screen in front of their face. And it drives me crazy. I think we need more places with it. I've seen restaurants go to where they are rewarding you if you don't use your phone during the meal or whatever. I think we need more of that. We need more of being present. We need more of, you're going to a comedy show, enjoy the person standing up there working hard to entertain you. You're going to a performance, a play, a whatever. Do that, especially for the kids. I will look around me and it's one of the most random, like, just, I want to scream to people before the thing starts. They got a camera. You don't have to worry about it. You're gonna get the video. Take a picture and put your phone down and just enjoy this thing. Southern Living article talking about how at the Masters now you have to leave your phone in the car or at a designated check-in station. And if you need a phone, there's what they call the courtesy phones that are positioned in different areas around the course. And it's a way to maintain a distraction and technology-free environment. And honestly, I go back to how do we, kind of yesterday's conversation on education, we have gotten really awkward as a society. That's true of myself. If I'm traveling, I'll go to dinner alone or go sit at a bar alone, and have dinner. And instead of like the awkward, I'm here alone, I'll just look at my phone. I used to bring a book, which by the way, I've had some really funny conversations as a result of that. But now you just get, it's like, oh, I don't know what to do right now. Let me pull out my phone. Going into the new year, I want to be better about this. I want to put it on your radar and hope you'll join me in being better about this. We're going to hit a quick break. When we come back, I want to get into some of the wild news stories. If you've got other things you want to work on, feel free to give me a call, 545-9950. Back in just a minute. Well, good afternoon, everyone. April Marie here. I looked up at the TV screen on CNN as the play and music started back because I was looking at headlines on my computer during the break, and I have no idea what they've got going on over there. They're celebrating New Year's across the globe. I told y'all I kind of love doing that, but I don't know what's going on my television screen right now. There's like a dance lesson happening.
Well, you're talking about we got the New Year coming up, right? I feel like I'm a nerd.
Why?
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that because I kind of am sometimes.
I'm absolutely a nerd.
I was up I got home kind of late trying to finish some stuff up here, and then I got on TikTok, and it's just fascinating. You think about those people that talk about the world's going to end.
Oh, the doomsdayer?
Yeah, right. And I'm like, well, in some parts of the world, it's already 2026.
True.
It's already they're already in a whole new year. They're already celebrated while we're still waiting for our time to shine on this side of the globe. And I was watching like some video streams in New Zealand. I'm like, they were partying.
They were having a good old time. Well, that's what's going on right now. Is they've got they're going all over the world back and forth with these CNN cameras of where it is midnight, where it's already morning. It's let's see, it's 6:30 a.m. in Tokyo, London. Looking at the different time zones around the world. No, I love it. By the way, I love watching other cultures, other countries celebrate New Year's. Fox News has had nothing but Minnesota, and now they're covering Mamdani to be his swearing in is tomorrow. But CNN's had nothing but New Year's the whole time since I sat down.
I mean, because they're gearing up for their telecast.
Their live telecast.
We need to do that. I don't think nobody wants to work on New Year's Eve, but I think we should do like
I would absolutely come in on my pajamas and hang and that's.
I mean, now that we got the stream,
I know
we can be out. We can be out in the public.
That's so true.
Be out and hanging out with the homelessness.
I don't know.
And homeless folks in Birmingham.
The unhoused in Birmingham. I don't know why people. That's just one of a number of. I have a huge soft spot for comedians, and I guess I should add for pretty clean comedians. Oh my gosh, Josh Johnson. Have you followed him at all? He one of my absolute favorites. He also does one of the late night shows, although for the life of me I can't recall which one. But he's The Daily Show. He is absolutely hysterical. My daughter and I watch all of his videos. But I love comedians, and I saw one of them talk about changing these words, just changing the terms we use.
Yeah.
Not going to help.
Yeah.
Not this. Oh, but I'm going to spare their feelings. No, the homeless person knows they're homeless.
Yeah.
Like those who know will know if the homeless person wants.
And some of them choose to be that way.
I went down to when I was young. It was between graduation and going to college. I went and visited a friend's church down in the Keys, and their church acted as they gave services for you pick up your food, you get your mail there, and was learning and hearing how there were a number of people who literally escaped to Key West, was doing the homeless thing, but got checks that would cover bills. All the time. Sorry, Richard. We're over here talking, and he was hanging out online there. You can call back if you want to, but I was talking to the pastor of this church, and he said, "No, this is a choice. We when people come here and genuinely need help, who genuinely are down on my luck, couldn't pay my bills, whatever. He's like, we will help them. But most everybody who gets services here." They're not they have no addiction. They have no mental health issues. They chose to come down here and live this way. And I was like, that's an odd choice, but okay. That's what they choose. So they've got a place to pick up their mail. They've got a place to get a hot meal. They've got places to shower. And then they spend their days hanging out in Key West. And that's what they want to be doing. Not as frequent, I'm sure, as those who have other circumstance, but it really is one of those situations where I feel like the city, and I'll said it, I'll say it again, they're doing the right thing by cleaning up the parks, making sure these encampments. Homewood, just after the new council was elected, Homewood passed an ordinance related to people sleeping in their vehicles, people sleeping in parks, encampments. It's not that elected officials want to be heartless. It's not that anybody I know wants to be heartless. but we have rules for a reason. And, go into the bathroom in public places, taking over an unoccupied house and terrorizing the neighborhood, that's not okay. And we need to not pretend it is. All right, I'm going to go to Richard. He was hanging on the line patiently. Hey, Richard. Oh, you there? Did I do something wrong? AJ's over here.
Yeah, you hit the wrong. Hold on.
Oh, no. I pushed the wrong button. Dadgum. This is why I don't push buttons, guys. I once tried to produce my learn how to work the board down in Montgomery, and I lasted there not even a commercial break. I was like, please come get me. It was Joey Clark. I was like, Joey, come stand back behind here. There's too many things going on here. Too many buttons I can push. Too many things that could go wrong. All right, well, we'll figure it out. AJ's over. He's trying, Richard. You might need to hang up and call. Oh, hold on. He's going to come. Oh, there you are. I hear you now. Yep. Hi, Richard.
We'll figure it.
You were calling about the homeless problem?
Hey.
Hello.
There you are.
Yes, I pushed the wrong button.
I love hearing you rattle on because I swear it's so clear and articulate, and I hear every single syllable. I love it.
Thank you.
I have a couple comments. Number one, dealing with the homeless people is like dealing with situations if somebody's lost a family member or a death somewhere. Everybody's real intense for a short period of time, but it's the long run of coming back around when they're by themselves and they need the long-term help. Nobody wants to adopt anybody. They just want to give them a shot, send them down the road, God bless you, and then that's it. And that's really the sad thing because I call them nomads. In other countries, they're called wanderers. We call them homeless because they don't have a home, but in many cases, they don't want a home. They want to be free. They want to be. There's people with mental illness. Yeah, we know the numbers, but there's a whole lot of them out there that just do not want responsibility. They've checked out. They're tired of civilization and tired of responsibility and all the rat race that they can't seem to stay up in. Now, I'm a math guy. According to the last census, we have 5,000 homeless people in Birmingham. Have you heard that number?
I haven't heard that number.
Okay, well, according to the last census, I was listening to y'all's show, and it came up on something. Well, I was doing the math, and if you had 5,000 people a day, and they garnered $25, you think that's easy for a homeless person in a 10 to 12-hour day to get $25 from people?
I would assume so.
All right, $25 at 5,000 people times 365 days is $44 million.
Wow.
That's people's after-tax dollars. That's somebody else's earned the income, paid 35% taxation on it, then they give it to them. Now you got all the churches
Richard,
that want to do good.
Hold tight, Richard. Well, good afternoon, everyone. April Marie here, filling in for Leland on the last show of the year, the last day of the year here, watching celebrations from around the world on CNN. Quite honestly, it's the best CNN content I've ever seen. Uh, I watch. I'm a rage watcher. I watch CNN regularly when I have the opportunity. Usually here, or like I said, I think I said yesterday, I don't have cable TV, so I'll watch it. I'll watch it if I'm in a hotel room or watch pieces. Think people will post on X, and I rage. I'm like, what are they saying? That said, they did a great special on cybersecurity and the threats of social media and AI. Katie Britt was on this past weekend. I wrote about that for 1819 News. If you missed it, go check that story out. We've been talking homelessness. Richard on the cell, he was doing some of the basic math in terms, I'm not going to touch the button. I'm going to let AJ touch the button. He was talking some of the math about what people give to each homeless person and the estimate of 5,000 in the Birmingham area. Now, Richard, you said that was a census number, approximately 5,000 in Birmingham?
Yeah, I was listening one afternoon, and they're talking about after the census came out, they were shocked to hear that they said that there were 5,000 homeless people. Now, I don't know how the census people did that unless they walked around the streets asking, are you homeless? But I just thought it was kind of strange because the numbers are really kind of scary because at $45 million of revenue.
It says I'm looking at a trend that One Roof estimates they serve 500 individuals monthly. Okay, sorry,
yeah.
Carry on.
Anyway, I'll just look at if that were the math. If there were 5,000 people around Birmingham, not everybody homeless is hanging out in Southside. There's people all over different places, and I just thought it's strange because they take that money. And if they only garnered that small amount, say they bumped that up to $50 a day, you're looking at $90 million in revenue. And they wound up buying drugs and alcohol and different stuff with it because you see it. Everybody goes down anywhere around, they see it. That's something that's part of that whole identity. And then the churches come in and they want to do stuff like feed them and clothe them and give them stuff. I don't personally understand something. Number one, I think there should be a bathroom on every corner, either a permanent structure or something, so anybody, not just homeless people, but people that have to relieve themselves can go to the bathroom in dignity, and then, it goes away. There's nothing left in the alleys. We used to go eat in Southside a lot. We'd love to eat at Surin, and my wife and I quit going there and started going to Mountain Brook instead because it smells like a urine trap down the alleys all around there because of people using it instead of using facilities. And the restaurants don't want them in there because they don't buy anything and they hang out. And so there's this segment of humanity that everybody wants to kind of, sort of, swing their head around and not look at. But there are people in this country, and that's just Birmingham. You multiply and add up everywhere else in the country, we have a mess.
It is an absolute
And I don't
mess.
understand with all the commercial buildings available why they couldn't be retrofitted and outfitted to where people could have a place to live, almost like an assisted living facility.
Well, but here's
like,
the problem. You look at what California did, Richard. California's done that. They've mandated housing, converted hotels, done all these things, and then they get trashed, and people end up back on the street anyway. The rooms or the apartments or whatever it is, they get absolutely trashed. They have drug problems. They have fights. They have all the things. And so I think just by looking, you're like, it can't be temporary solutions, right? Like it's not enough just to give somebody a roof over the head. You have to figure out what the root cause of the homelessness is. Is it substance abuse problems? Is it mental health? Is it having no job training? Is it whatever it is? You've got to get that. I'm a part of a charity that does monthly lunches, and they those are short-term fixes, but ultimately every individual has to be taken on a case-by-case basis. What we have learned in this nation, if I've learned nothing else from Governor Newsom over in California, is money's not the answer, because they have thrown just millions and millions and millions. They have created this house, and they have created, we'll give you the free drugs, so does air quotes safe. We'll do all these things, and their problem just keeps getting worse. And so it's got to be, from the bottom up, and you can't force someone to take help. I mean, start at the beginning. What caused this, and how do we solve this problem? But people, when I was talking to Homewood PD as the city was looking at homelessness, they were saying every encounter their officers have, they ask the person, "Can I take you to a shelter? Can I take you to somewhere that's going to help you with services?" And the answer is 9 out of 10 is no. They don't want. They want to walk away and continue doing what they're doing, and there just isn't a solution to that. I do think churches can play a role, because then it's not a stranger approaching them every time. It's someone getting to know them. Hey, I know your name, Robert. Hey, I know your name, Tom. Hey, I know your name, Sally, and dealing with it that way. But I follow Don Lupo, who has done homeless work, just incredible homeless work in the Birmingham area. And he knows their names, he knows their problems, and he'll tell you about people who have been on the streets for ages, and that's just where they want to be. I think one of the things that I don't want to say, I'm grateful for is Woodfin saying, okay, we're going to draw some barriers, we're going to draw some guidelines about where you are and where you've decided to make your home, because you can't make your home Lynn Park and then use the bathroom there and do drugs there and sleep there, to a point where anybody going to City Hall is going to have possibly face abuse when they're walking through what's a public park for everybody's enjoyment. So, Richard, you got a lot of good points here.
Let me ask you a question. Have you seen or heard of any examples in any other cities that have actually had a track record and found a successful methodology of dealing with this in the entire United States? Have you seen anything like that?
And quite honestly, I can't offhand say I have. I've seen some really cool education examples. I saw where a one school district was adopted by a millionaire, and he basically did from preschool up to high school, supported these families, and they ended up with an incredible literacy rate. It was a failing school district, and he ended up fixing the problem. But this is one of those things where, and we talked earlier about the California group that's getting multi-millions of dollars to be here with hundreds of dollars per conversation. This is one of those things where there's got to be examples out there. I'm not a homelessness expert, but I'm an expert. I've read enough and know enough. I think most of us have, to know what works and doesn't work, and what we're doing, what we have been doing, just letting people live wherever they want and camp wherever they want. That's not working. And so I'm grateful that Birmingham is taking this up and trying to do something about it. Thanks for calling, Richard. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, so on the Firehouse Shelter website, homelessness in Birmingham, their latest data, and I trust Firehouse Ministries. I think they do great work here in the city. The most recent data estimates 1,153 people currently experiencing homelessness in Birmingham. 607 of those are classified as chronically homeless, meaning they have been homeless for more than a year. 474 of those are veterans. 228 of those are minors. Statewide, there's approximately, I think that's probably the number, the 5,000 number you found, Richard. This is firehouseshelter.com. Statewide, homelessness has increased by 39% between 2023 and 2024, with almost 5,000, about 4,600 individuals. It's one of those things where we've got to talk about it more often than when the encampments are taken apart and people are displaced. Got to talk about it more often than when the police have to be called out for situations. And we got to be a part of the solution and not expect the government to be, because never, and call me if you've got an example of it, never have I seen the government tackle a problem and actually solve it. It's got to be a combination of people working together, especially these problems when it comes to individuals' needs and individuals' circumstances like this. The 200 and if you're looking for shelters in this area to help and support with your time, your resources, your all the things, there's Firehouse, there's First Light for Women, there are the Jimmy Hale, there are a lot of them around, and it does take more than government intervention to address this crisis. All right, I want to go to lighter subjects. I know I brought this one up myself, but I'm gonna switch to a little lighter subjects. I have open some of the craziest headlines of the year, and I want to get into them. You guys have all heard the term Florida Man, I'm assuming. I'm from Florida, so I like to keep up with Florida Man and craziness and other craziness. Are you ready, AJ, for one of the crazy headlines? This isn't a Florida man. This is a Texas woman, actually. A Waco woman got a reverend to certify a marriage license with her ex-boyfriend. She went and legally married her ex-boyfriend fraudulently. She ended up obviously facing charges for this. She was charged with stalking, but she obtained and got a certificate of marriage without the man's knowledge. She was 36 years old. She left a gift bag at her ex-boyfriend's house that included Bath and Body Works products, 2 documents. One of those documents was a signed and done marriage license showing that they had been married, and it was officiated by a local reverend. The other was a copy of the marriage certificate, which was already filed with the county clerk's office.
So wait a minute, how was she able to do all of this?
I do not know, but I do know that the reverend who signed off on this without meeting the groom, he probably needed a knock at his door.
Well, he's probably one of those pastors who got his pastoral degree from online.
Oh, that's frightening. The victim reported receiving a bag that included a note saying, "Congrats, maybe call your wife." Signed from your wife, Mrs. Mitchell.
I would have thought that was a prank, if that was me. I would have been like, ha, 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 until you have to, like, apply for stuff.
And then later find out that you are already legally married to someone else. The reverend, she convinced to certify. No, it was a real reverend. What in the world? They were able to undo this and charge her with all sorts of fraud, and in addition to the stalking.
But what about the pastor?
I don't
right?
know.
And the county clerk who also filed the paperwork.
Did not know. Could you imagine? Again, this was in my bizarre headlines of this year. This happened in June in Beverly Hills, Texas, a Waco woman. I have questions that during the next commercial break I'm going to try to answer.
Wacko, I mean, kind of.
That tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks, but holy cow. Like, I can't even imagine. This is on the list of craziest things, not just of this year that I've heard.
Now, he probably knew that this person was nuttier than a squirrel turd.
Yeah.
I mean, because when he was, like, dating.
Did you say nuttier than a squirrel turd?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, could be why they broke up, right? You're like, there's a certain level of crazy with every woman. And if you find a woman who denies that, just know she's high on the scale.
Yeah,
okay?
She's burned your car, burned your clothes.
Yeah.
Crying hysterically out of nowhere, watching cartoons, crying.
Oh my gosh, I found the cartoon. If you missed it yesterday, we were talking about my tendency to cry, because I cry way too much for any normal person.
Well, she started crying yesterday for some reason. That's what brought it up.
Oh, you stop. I was not crying. But no, I saw I screen capped it because I was like, oh, it was a robot movie. And now, of course, I can't find the screen cap because I have way too many pictures on my phone. But I found the robot movie that I was talking about when I was talking about a movie made me cry. And I was like, oh, I've got to save this because it's Wild Robot. Have you seen Wild Robot?
Wild Robot. Let's see.
It's
is this a movie that you should be crying at?
I want to say it's on. No, it's not a movie you should be crying at.
Don't sound like it is.
But it's actually a really well done movie. I loved this.
The Wild
movie.
Robot.
Yes, I loved this movie. These children movie.
Oh, you about to cry right now when you.
I
really love this movie.
I really love it. This is one of those where the camera comes. If you are streaming me on YouTube, this is my in real life. But no, that movie made me cry. But going back to the story, every woman you've ever met is a little bit of crazy, and a crazy in her own way. And if she denies it, it's time for you to rethink things, because it's just the way God made us. I'm crazy in my own way.
What were you? Well,
I tell people no. I'll own mine.
Okay.
Look, I'll own mine.
What level of craziness are you?
Well, so and this is absolutely weird. People tell me all the time, oh, like I'll listen to you on the radio or I'll see you at work and you are just a ball buster. You are just like, you got this, you're whatever. And then you get me at home, and I'm in the pink fuzzy socks with a box of tissues, crying at Wild Robot. Like that's a little. There's a huge gap of inconsistency between my professional life, and I'll meet men at work. Back when I was dating, I stopped dating. Now we're going on 3 years. Okay, this is getting crazy, but I stopped dating. But I would meet men and go on dates, and they were expecting this like tough as nails woman, and then I get home and I'm like, nope, I'm gonna watch the cartoon, the Full House. I'm currently in the process of trying to talk my family into a pup. Did I tell you? I told you the puppy thing, right?
Right.
So now
your son wanted.
My son has wanted a dog for a really long time.
But it's really for you.
Well, it's like the 3D printer apparently. And so, but now there is a real life puppy in the picture. I got images of a real life puppy, and now, but it's a family discussion because this is a lot of responsibility and a big commitment.
Who's doing the pros and cons chart?
Okay, so here's what's funny is my babysitter, because I've got a sitter, and she has been with me for longer than my son's been alive. I mean, my daughter's 12. My babysitters have been with me 8 and 9 years. I keep people. Like once I got you, I got you. And she's the only holdout right now. She's like, no, ma'am, we will not be. And she's been with me long enough that she can say that, but she's like, no, ma'am, we are not getting a puppy. And I was like, okay. Like, I don't control my house. My sitter controls my house. She was like,
I mean, if your sitter has that much pull to tell you what you can or cannot have in your own home, I mean, that's
it's pretpretty fantastic. Wow. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
She legit is like the.
I mean, but she knows you. She's like, look, no. Because basically, what's going to end up happening is she's going to be the one that's going to be taking care of it.
And that's her thing. Is like it depends on your job. And with 18, 19, you know, I'll go out. She'll have to come out. I'll go to meetings. I'll do whatever. And so she's like, nope, you cannot get a little baby puppy. So anyway, all right. Did I talk my way right through my 3:45 break? Because I did. I got nothing.
We get to go ahead and take it now.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back in just a minute. I'm going to look up what happened to this pastor who signed off on this marriage certificate. Hold tight. We'll have more information. Well, good afternoon, everyone. April Marie here, filling in for Leland. AJ attempting to keep me out of trouble. Over here, okay, I got details. So it turns out that the Reverend who she tricked into signing the marriage license with the guy she had broken up with.
Mm-hmm.
This is his statement. Kristen was not a stranger to me. She was a good friend, part of a close-knit circle of neighbors who over the years became like family. We shared many meaningful moments together, friendsgivings, everyday chats, countless small acts of kindness. Her daughter even cared for our pet while we were away, something that openly happens when there's deep trust. He goes on to say, that's why what happened is so incredibly painful and difficult for me to process. I didn't officiate a wedding for someone I barely knew. I opened my home and my heart to what I believed was a real loving, committed union.
But wait a minute. Let's rewind that. Did the guy show up?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how? Like, you didn't ask no question. Like,
why,
where is he?
Why?
Like,
where is he?
Is he signing this? Because you signed off on it. And you there's got to be both parties there, and you signed off on this thing.
Kristen presented me a valid marriage certificate dated June 2nd. Based on that and the friendship we shared, I had no reason to doubt her intentions. The dude married a couple that was broken up. I truly believe the relationship was genuine and consensual. I trusted her not just as a friend, but as someone I thought shared the same values. This has been one of the most painful and humiliating experiences of my life. Man. Yeah, that's a tough one. You accidentally marry a woman to a guy to a clearly someone who.
Yeah, there's no accident.
That's tough.
Because this dude never been to no Friendsgiving. This dude's never been to no. Now he was.
The ex-boyfriend got a protective order, and I'm not blaming him.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's the 2020 one of the 2025 most bizarre stories, and I think that ranks up there.
Yeah.
All right, we're back in a minute. You're listening to April Marie filling in for Leland.